Hi Wardens, Tony here, your Fire and Life Safety Manager, and we're going to go over the 6th floor on HQ1. Before too long it's going to be open, and we wanted to show you around a little bit, and we'll also walk you around after the floor is completed, and right around the time that you occupy the floor. We'll go ahead and walk you around. But as of right now, I wanted you to see the elevator banks, how they look a little bit differently, and also how you can identify the elevator banks just by the orientation of the elevators and so forth, because they are all different in HQ1. As you can see, we got the 5th floor courtyard out there, so I'm up on the 6th floor now. Freight elevators here, but I'm in the 500 elevator bank now. You can see that there's 3 elevators in this elevator bank. There's only one elevator bank that has 3 elevators. This is it. So if you see an elevator bank, if the power's out, if it's dark and you can't figure out where you're at in the building, if you find an elevator bank with 3 elevators, it's the 500, so you know where you're at. Let's walk over here. And also, this is the only freight elevator that's directly on the inner corridor. The others have a little room off the corridor that the freight elevator is in. So if you're disoriented, if it's dark, you find a freight elevator in the main corridor, you're in the 500s. Let's go to the 700s. As you can see, some of these floor layouts are considerably different than what they used to be. I'm right off the main inner corridor, and there's just a little corner down in here. These are the areas that tend to get forgotten by the wardens when we are in evacuation situations. So when you have these corridors that aren't often traveled or kind of out of the way and not in your line of sight, don't forget about them. Also, the bridge going across is one that we're afraid will get forgotten about too, because right now it's a dead end. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so we're at the 700 elevator bank now. This is in the northeast corner of the building. As you can see, again, it looks a little different than it used to, but I want you to also pay attention to the orientation of the passenger cars in the 700 elevator bank here. There are 6 cars, and they're all facing each other. This is the only elevator bank that has 6 cars where they are all facing each other. They don't have anything angled at the back end like the 100s and 300s that you will see next. 600s have these 3 elevators and no freight elevator in here. However, you come around the corner and behind some doors, there is a freight elevator. So again, this is one of the freight elevators that's not directly on the corridor like the one in the 500 elevator bank. However, it's in the room next to the 700 elevator bank. Let's move on down the hallway. This is what we would call a collaboration area. There's usually 2 or 3 collaboration areas in all the new floor plans. This will be a perfect shelter-in-place location. Once the signs are hung, you will see those. As of right now, the shelter-in-place signs are not identified in the hallways yet. I would show you that if they were, but they're not. So this will be the type space that will be identified by the green signs as a shelter-in-place location. This is stairwell 4. Just looks like doors, however, it is stairwell 4. This is what will eventually be the bridge. It used to be the 400s that went across. These will now be the 700s as far as room numbers go. It's still closed because they're doing interior stairwells that will go floor to floor, but as of right now, they're closed, and these are the ones that I'm worried about ending up forgotten during an evacuation. We'll see it from the other side in a minute. And here we are, currently at the 100 elevator bank. And as you can see, they are 6 elevators, 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. However, the ones on the ends are at an angle. They're not facing each other like the 700s. That's how you can tell the difference. If you're not sure where you're at, you got 6 elevators. The 2 on the ends are at that angle. You know you're in the 100 elevator bank. And this elevator bank does not have a freight. Oh, look, it's a freight elevator. These are the 300s. It does have a freight around the corner from the elevator bank in the little room next to it. And these are the 300 elevators. As you can see, there are 5 elevators, and the 2 on the ends are angled. So you have 5 elevators in an elevator bank that can only be the 300s. And also the freight. Looking for things like this is always good to know where these are at. We've got the fire extinguishers, ABC fire extinguishers, all around the floor. Probably a really smart thing to know where these are at. Big conference room, shelter in place location, right here. The floors also have a new pantry area where there will be seating for lunch, microwaves, coffee makers, refrigerators on both sides. We'll have TVs playing so you can keep up with the news and so forth. This here is what used to be the 400 bridge. This will be the new 700 bridge, but like I said, they're still working on those internal stairs down there, so the area is closed. But what you got is a dead-end area with offices down here. That we can't forget about during evacuations. So if you don't have a warden on this corridor, make sure it's not forgotten about. These people need to be evacuated and cleared as well, okay? And back here, this is the area that's still closed, that the internal stairwell will be and so forth. It'll be over there. But right now, it's still closed and will be for a little while. Therefore, don't forget about this corner in evacuation. Stair 3 exits out onto 20th Street. Oh look, it's a freight elevator in the inner corridor. We must be at the 500 elevator bank. 1, 2, 3. The 500s, and we're back where we started. So I hope this helped you a little bit. We're going to walk you around after we actually occupy the space, and we can see the shelter-in-place locations and so forth. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. We are always around. If you're here, we're here, and we are here for you. Take care.